Come on, welcome everyone in a session of retraining your brain. But why? Is our brain not good? Who will say my brain is not good? And releasing our stress and restoring well-being. This program is on live, so there is always a disclaimer that you should not be doing this program without the supervision of the person who really knows it, who understands these practices. So it's highly recommended that you should do the practice regularly until you feel the change. Oh, I find a newcomer. I'm Girish, and you are?
Girish.
Girish. And what is your expectation?
Peace and
Peace.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, peace. Can I ask you a question? Are we good and bad? Tina? What is no? We are neither? Then where is the problem? Are we good or bad? It's a relative term. And it comes from, it is a mental perspective that we always are either good at some time, bad at other time. I may be very good what I'm speaking to you, but you say, oh, this guy is crazy bad. Yeah, it's all about a mental perspective. I'm taking your statement that you don't have any expectation. So, we live through our mind. We live through our mind. And this mind always works in duality. What is that duality? That duality is pain and the pleasure, happiness and the sorrow. You go out, somebody has parked the car very close to you. Mind says, how crazy. Mind always works in duality. Our entire life works in this duality. First few weeks when today is a Valentine Day. Oh, that's a good way to talk. Happy Valentine's Day. Whether it is miserable for you or happiness for you, but still happy Valentine to you. It is again a mental perspective. You see that? It is again a mental perspective. So first few weeks of dating, everything goes well. After some time, we become honey, and after some time, our money is required. So the money is replacing honey, and after that, we know what happens in our life. As long as we are working with this mind, we are bound to live in that duality, division, conflict. There is bound to be there conflict. So then, the Eastern psychology says that we have another perspective in our life. We have an innate goodness. That real self is always made of goodness. It is always made up of peace. It is our essential nature. So when the peace and happiness are within you, where to go? Where to find it? Nowhere to find it. Do we have that intense aspiration in our life that we have to discover that peace and happiness within? If that aspiration is there in the life will change. Okay, I will join one class. I will try. What you're going to try? Do you want to try peace and happiness? Really? Really, do you want to try peace and happiness in your life? It doesn't work. So, from where that statement comes of trying? From the mind. So, then what happens if the peace and happiness is my essential nature? Then why I don't live into it? I don't give value to it. Hi, sometime I get a text, I've been attending your classes regularly. I'm very sorry, because I have to go for a dinner. You give importance to your dinner that is more important than peace. Choice is yours. I have to do nothing. No, I don't teach. I'm not a teacher. So, but unless you start aspiring for that peace and happiness, it will not come. And the moment we talk of the peace and the happiness, it is potential in us. What is potential? To become better day by day, to become better after this session, to become better after a week, after a month, and at last we are able to discover that potential in us. Then what happens? That real self with its peace and the happiness starts manifesting in your life. How? Same thing. You go to your car after the session, somebody has parked the car very close to you. Mental perspective, how crazy the guy is. Oh, he might not be aware, that's why he did it. Let me find the safe. Passes, bring my car out and start driving. Your perspective changes in life. Does it change in your life at your home? Does it change in life? Does it change at the workplace? That potential is being awakened. So again, coming to that potential, if we want to awaken that potential, we have to change the mind and its perspective. Where is that perspective? Oh, one example, I hear, I did one practice, I didn't like it. Did you come for liking the practice? Did you really come for liking the practice, or did you come here to change? And your mind is full of the duality, you need to give some time. So that potential lies within all of us. We are all essentially made up of the peace and the happiness. This mind has to change. So I'm teaching from one Upanishad, and that Upanishad means you give time in your life, you are committed. Committed to what? To destroy the duality and divisions of the mind, to keep the goal fixed, to give value to the peace and happiness, and day by day, week after week, you are starting lessening, loosening the hold of your conditioned mind. And once that happens, you start retraining your mind, retraining your brain, you start releasing your stress, and the day comes, oh, you feel, yes, I'm in peace and happiness, here and now, at a workplace, in my life, in my relationship. You are in peace. You are always in peace and happiness. That is the entire journey of this program. So what we do, first we check the mind. Is the mind ready to undergo that training? So the first step, we will start with that. The second step, we will, based on the science, we say some physical activity helps our brain to change. So we will move into that activity. And after that, we follow the breathing practices that helps us to release the stress and also release the energy from the unconsciousness. It starts moving upward. Then we will see that how we bring this energy of the body, breath, brain, and the mind, and at last we will drop, we will trigger, we will awaken to that higher consciousness that is made up of peace and happiness. One thing more that I want you to think. Many people come to me. And, I had one client and whose father is a great scientist. Oh, does it really work? He asks me. His son is suffering from a substance abuse. So he's totally obsessed with the science. So I asked him one question. Keep it in your mind and think of it. I receive a smartphone from an Nexus Google company. I open it, and then I open the manual of my laptop to fix my Nexus. Will it work? You will say I'm crazy. Really? Yes. No doubt. No doubt about it. I'm really crazy. Isn't it? Pamela? Did you understand? Aren't you doing the same thing? Why the tradition is there? The tradition gives you a specific guidelines to follow a specific practices, and you open the science manual to correct it. It will never work. Forget about it. Did you understand what I'm saying? So he asked me, oh, does it really work? I said, what do you mean by it? It always worked for 6,000 years. It is going to work in another 10,000 years. The science has to help us to understand that process, that mechanism. So if you're asking me a question, did science prove it? Science has not proved hundred of things. Don't open the science manual to create a group of practices. Open the science to understand the process, understand the mechanism, but follow the tradition. Let us start. First, close your eyes. You may sit or lie down, whatever is more comfortable to you. Sit or lie down, but keep a smile on the face. I'm not so serious. I was talking about a particular concept. Close eyes. Let us do the first step. Look at your mind. How? Bring your hands down on the floor, or if you're lying down, if you're sitting, you can put your both the hands on the thighs, facing up. Be comfortable. Eyes are closed. Check that. Move the mind on the neck joint. Feel the sensation and become aware. Move the mind on the shoulder joints. Your mind, look at it. Does it really, your mind moves on the shoulder joints? It feels the sensation, it becomes aware, and it confirms that you are at ease and comfortable. hip joints, knees, ankles, toes. The entire body is comfortable. Entire body is comfortable. Do you have the highest desire at this moment? Then you will never complain that you have a lot of thoughts. What is the highest desire that merges all the desires of your life? Let me awaken to peace and happiness. Let me awaken to peace and happiness in my life. Mama antah karane shantir avirbhava. Let that peace that lies potential in me be awakened. Let the peace that lies potential in me be awakened. Wait, do nothing, and you will notice that crazy mind starts moving your body. You start thinking of something else. Your mind starts wandering. That intense desire has to be repeated every day in the life. You should become aware that your life is going to work on this peace and happiness. Then the thoughts will not come. Thoughts only come because you give importance to those thoughts. Well, you are doing your own practice. I'm only responsible for pointing out. I'm neither the teacher nor the guru. I'm always free. I enjoy myself and expressing myself. So that is the first step where you experience the stillness in the body. You are at ease, and the mind is engaged in aspiring for peace and happiness. Now, my friends, we have to release the stress, or I would say, I'll not use the scientific, I will release the energy from the unconscious mind. The conditioned mind drains that energy, forces us to live in duality. And if you strip that energy from the mind, the energy starts rising up, the mind follows it. So now bring your right hand on the right nostril, close the right nostril and start breathing long, hissing, and a fast breath through the left nostril. Long and the fast, not the shorter breath. Long, hissing, and the fast breath, my friend. Long, hissing, and the fast breath. Long, hissing, and the fast breath through the left nostril for 1 minute. Your mind will object to it. So then you follow the mind. You don't follow the instruction. So you have a weak inspiration where I pick up you, I observe you. And stop it, and now close your left nostril and start breathing long, hissing, in the fast breath through the right nostril. It is a matter of 1 minute when the body is still. Body is not doing any stretching. It is different than the hyperventilation, even if you feel some sensation inside the head. The breath is of equal duration. You're inhaling deep into the belly and the chest. You're exhaling deep from the belly and the chest. Long and the hissing breath. That makes the practice work. And leave the practice, bring the hands down, return again to the state of passivity. Where is that passivity? The mind is aware of the sensation and the stillness in the body and check. When the energy released, you feel the sensation throughout the body, and then we give it a direction. How? Move the mind on the head and the neck. So it is looking at the head and the neck, it is not doing anything at this moment. And you experience the sensation and the stillness. Right arm, you feel the sensation and the stillness. Left arm, you feel the sensation and the stillness. Am I forcing you to experience the sensation or create the sensation or enforce the stillness in the body? No. Casually, you are moving your awareness and attention on the rib cage. You feel the sensation. You experience the stillness. You move the mind on the belly. You feel the sensation and you experience the stillness. You move the mind on the right leg. You feel the sensation and you experience the stillness. Move the mind on the left leg. Feel the sensation and experience the stillness. The entire body. Let us make it easier. You might be thinking that 1 minute of long and the hissing breath is enough and we have done the pranayama. You actually succeed in doing the pranayama when you do it 80 rounds minimum. But our perception is totally different. No. And that is why I include other steps to help you go deeper. So you are into that state of stillness and aspiration for the highest. Now look at the breath and start breathing through both the nostrils, deep, silent, and slow. The breath is going into the belly, into the chest. The breath is coming from the belly and the chest. There is no noise of the breath. There is no movement in the body. If there is a movement, conditioned mind is working. That is how I observe you guys. Even if there are a lot of people today, so I simply observe those smaller things. Now see that when the breath is going in, your belly goes up. Do you feel that sensation? Chest goes up. Do you feel that sensation? When the breath comes out, your belly drops down gently in the chest. If that is in the field of your conscious experience, there is a natural awareness and attention, and that is going to fire the brain. That is how I understand the very process of these practices based on the latest understanding of the science. But the moment I will focus on the principle of the science which considers body is a man as a machine, I will lose these practices. So pay attention to the deep, silent and the slow breath. The breath is going in from the nostril, it expands the belly, then the chest, the breath comes out from the belly, from the chest. Look at it through your conscious mind, through your awareness and attention. Body, breath, brain, mind, all working together. How it cannot fire the brain? We can go for physiological responses, deeper breath, higher oxygen concentration, relaxation, a lot of things in science. And now we want to go little deeper. So when the breath should continue to go inside with the same duration, and the moment the breath starts coming out, start making the humming sound, you will experience the lightness in the head. The louder, the longer, the deeper it is, the better it is. Are you thinking now? You need not to think now. Louder, deeper, and longer. But don't forget to inhale deeply, silently, and slowly. And stop it. A reminder to you all in the state of the sensation, in the stillness, you still aware of the highest desire of the peace, of the stillness. And now you can experience that as if you are living within. In that state of the sensation, the stillness, and check if the mind is still not relaxed, it is still thinking a lot, you need to do more practices. It has nothing to do with me or the practice doesn't work. It is the other way around. Your mind has to be receptive enough to follow. Now look at the breath. Do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Just looking at the breath. Breath goes in and comes out. You feel the sensation of the breath inside the nose. You do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. 3 points are common. And the 4th point, the moment the breath goes in, look at any point on the forehead. Look at any point on the forehead. The breath comes out. Look at the same point on the forehead. Okay? When you start looking every time the breath goes in and comes out, you're looking at a point on the forehead, you will start feeling the sensation. And if the neuroscience says inward moving of your awareness and attention, we are doing it consciously with reference to the body. So that is how I learned something from the science. But I will not break and but follow the tradition. So when you feel that sensation, every time the breath goes in and comes out, the moment the breath goes in, you look at a point, drop the sound, gum. Breath comes out, you look at a point on the forehead, drop the sound, gum. Gum, gum. In that state of the sensation in the stillness, it goes above, higher than the mindfulness practice. We are doing in a dark room, gradually will be start doing in it with light also. Why should anything outside distract us? You are into that state of sensation in the stillness, looking at a point on the forehead. The moment you feel the sensation, you drop gum, you take when the breath comes out. Look at the beauty of inward moving of attention and awareness. What the tradition says, when the body and the breath is not controlled by the mind, when awareness and attention is inside, the sound helps us to transcend the mind and awakens to the peace and happiness. Another great misconception, we talk a lot about third eye. To say we have 300 centers on the forehead. Any point you are aware and attentive, and it aligns with the science. Inward moving of awareness and attention. Doesn't matter where it is, it has to be within. Now, the moment the breath goes in, look inside the center. Look at any point of the chest. Breath comes out, look at the same point. Wait unless you start feeling the sensation confirms the attention is there. Even if with the tip of my index finger I touch you, your attention goes there. And this is without the physical sensation, through awareness and attention. And again, drop gum when the breath goes in, feeling that point. Take the gum out when you feel the sensation at a point on the chest. It is okay. You may fall into deep unconscious sleep. In the beginning, it happens. Let it happen. Don't struggle. Don't fight with it. Once you start listening to me, continue the practice. The mind exists because of the body. And you bypass the body and the breath, the conditioned mind drops by itself. Look at the rational way, the logical process of the tradition. And now you're not changing the rhythm of the breath. The stillness in the body remains. The moment the breath goes in, look inside, look at the belly button. The breath comes out, look at the belly button. It is very easy to bring your awareness and attention with the movement of the belly due to the breath inside the belly button. And the moment the breath goes in, you see the belly button rising up, drop, gum. Breath comes out, belly drops down, you say gum. Very deep inside, you experience as if you are very far from the body. And the breath, you fire the brain, you release your stress, and you restore your well-being. We'll talk in detail about it in the next week about the well-being in relation to this practice. One thing that is important that during the practice you may undergo a variety of experiences. Freezing of the body, numbness, tingling, sometimes lightness in the body. You may feel as if the body is rising up. It is okay, it doesn't rise, but it tells us how the mind perceives the changes. It has nothing to do with the hallucinations. Continue, please. Just remain in that state. Do nothing now. Just do nothing. Please do nothing. Just when you're doing nothing, you are into that state. And now I will sing. It has a specific value in the tradition. There are certain sounds when the teacher or the instructor or the guru chants, and you are already in a deeper state. It adds value to it. You instantly get a flash of a very deeper state of the practice and the meditation. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Now we return from the practice in a specific way. We are not in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry. You see that? When you are in a hurry, your mind is already wanted to rush outside. Look at those things. That is how you progress. That is why we share the experiences after every practice. It helps you bring your mind on the right palm, your mind on the left palm, left hand. Raise both your palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. Get up and let us share our experiences. Tina, can you open the light? I want to see everyone's face. Thank you for, yeah, we were doing in a dark room, that's why yes. So we let us share our experiences openly. That is going to help you. So first, and this is, being broadcast live, so there is a disclaimer. If you don't want your name to appear, I'll just point you out, and then you let me know your experiences. Yes, what is your experiences? Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes, there are. Okay. Okay. There are two things that when we find difficult to go in the state of relaxation in the beginning, it definitely shows that the mind was somewhere else. And sometimes the mind is more distracted than the other day. And that is why it takes time to relax. Second thing, it is so simple. I'm looking at you, I'm aware and attentive of you, and mentally I say gum. Now, I'm aware and attentive of a point on the forehead. Oh, yes, it is your forehead, so you can be easily aware. Isn't it? So, if I say that, are you aware of your right hand thumb? Yes, you're aware of the right hand thumb and say gum. Same thing. You're aware of the point on the forehead and you say gum. You don't focus it. You don't make any effort. So what might have happened that you wanted to focus. The moment you focus, the mind becomes crazy. Very subtle point. How are you? Relaxed? Peaceful. Oh, you have been doing it regularly. It is going to change. How about you? Very heavy? Yes. Yes, yes. Samir, you're making a noise.
Sorry, sir.
So I told you one thing that when we start transcending the mind, you may have many experiences that includes freezing of the body, tingling, heaviness, sinking, lightness in the entire body. So we need not to correlate with its hallucinations, not at all. They are the symbolic expressions how the mind is working deeper inside, and they are good. So once we move into the second phase of this program, I'll start talking about these experiences. Don't believe them. What is your experience? You are new here, so that don't believe them what they have said to me. Yeah. It was not fight. But today your mind is much quieter. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Two things. Yeah, three things. Obviously, when we are stressed and then the sleep disturbances is one of the major symptoms and experiences. Second thing is that same thing applies. I follow the tradition of the meditation, but that you need to learn from somebody who knows the tradition. And then you can achieve success. Same thing applies, I told you. Do you remember? Huh? So it may or may not work. We have to know the alphabets of those steps. Third thing, we continue. This practice will take care of your deep sleep. And it will also give you a deeper insight how to resolve the problems that you are facing. You told me you didn't have any expectation. Come on. It's okay. How are you? Reach to that deeper. Okay. I like this. I like this. How are you then? Very fitting. You know, if I talk about her, she has been doing, I think, for the last couple of months, and you have been regular and you have reached to that stage. Same thing applies. Whatever mind says, do you get $1 million variation in a day? It accumulates, it accumulates, it accumulates. Yeah? Now, I'm not asking do you have it, you have more than that. So it comes, it accumulates. So we have to accumulate those experiences every time, and then it works. How are you?
Good. It's very hard to find, very active. But at the end, it was more peaceful. It's kind of different. It's like a really big ship. And it was going on very calm water. And the sun was shining brightly. But the ship was going into like a opening or light.
That's so wonderful. You see, I told you, I think I discussed it before. People have their imaginative faculty of the mind, so they undergo the experiences through different images. And other people get kind of intuitive flash. So there are many faculties, formative capacities of the mind, and when it undergoes a change, so that is what she feels the ship. The bigger the ship, the better it is. It symbolically it explains that the mind is expanding. It is going deeper. How are you? Relaxed, calm. How are you, Rishi?
Really calm.
Really calm?
Very like me.
Do you remain calm at home?
I do.
Yes, yes. He is calm because he never looked at you and he said that he's calm. So, good. How are you, Vinod? Yeah, that's very good. Explain through the science why you are about to go. Not possible. That's wonderful. That's yeah, yeah, yeah. That's really a good experience if you have a conscious experience. No, we need not to compare who has a vision or not. Move into class. Talk about your own experiences. Only, yes. How about you? Badman, relax. Yeah. How about you, Lena?
For some reason, I was not able to relax.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you were recording, so I heard some sounds and they were distracting me.
For
I didn't
some
know what they
reason.
were. But overall, I feel good.
You feel good, yeah. So you're paying more attention to those sounds than what I was speaking.
at some point they were taking my attention.
I think we should learn one thing beautiful from this experience. And that is what the science says. That is what also where your mind is, you start giving value, importance to that thing. And the moment you give the importance to that thing, you are lost. No, I'm not able to sleep. I know I've been crazing, there are a lot of disturbances. So what you're doing? You're giving importance to the sleep, disturbance in the sleep. So you will not be able to sleep. So when you give importance to the peace, the calmness, instantly, the father says to the child, I told you don't be angry. I'm becoming angry. So I lose that will. You see what I said? Did you understand that? Carmel, I said that don't be angry, and I'm angry. So through the information, I'm giving importance that don't be angry, but I lost the awareness. Same thing happened. Don't do it next time. How are you?
Uh, I have stressful things going on sometimes in the day, and I can just leave it on. So I was kind of going to thinking about my own things.
Accumulate. Accumulate. The more you accumulate, the more regular you practice you do, you will see that those distractions will fall apart and you'll be in peace. So, how are you, Samir? You heard that? You disturb people here. Come on, what is your
Sorry
experience?
for, sir. There was a cooling sensation in the center of my head. This place, very
That's
cool.
good. Yeah,
Somebody has kept eyes on this place.
yeah. That's wonderful. That's a very good experience. So, we will start with the next session. Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
very much.